Hi, my name is Steve Haines. I'm here to talk about our new book, Cranial Intelligence. I've written it with Sumner. It's been the product of 2 years of hard work, and it's emerged from our teaching of craniosacral therapy around the world. For most humans, we exist just behind here. We're very focused on our thoughts and ideas, and there's this sort of privileging of the mind and a sense of I think, therefore I am. A good body worker's take on that old philosophical problem is I have a body, therefore I am. And knowing our body is not easy sometimes. Many of us, it has certain needs. We eliminate, we need to eat, we're hungry, we're tired, we want to have sex, we want to do physical things. And then we stop really. There's an assumption that if all those things are okay and we're not in pain, then that's health. For me, health is something much, much richer, much more nuanced, much more powerful really. To define my body as just something that isn't in pain really limits who we are as human beings. So for me, there's an incredible range of sensations, an incredible range of phenomena that happen when we're healthy and that we can notice when we're healthy. A sense of being in touch with, engaged with, being grounded in our body. In cranial work, we're very interested in certain phenomena that seem to happen in the body. The defining theme of cranial work is that there are rhythmic movements that can be perceived by skilled hands. The rhythms are essential to life. Something that is alive is moving, and the skill in cranial work is to feel those rhythms, to begin to interact with those rhythms. The work is not about forcing things. The work is about making a very, very gentle contact. So the contact in cranial work is a feather-like touch. And we're just listening to this gently pulsing body. If you've ever held a baby, or if you've ever held a partner, or someone you're close to, and you just kind of reach a moment where you can begin to tune into their body, begin to feel if they're tight, if they're holding on, or if there's a sense of openness and receptiveness. Well, in cranial work we refine that skill, and we add in this sort of phenomena of these rhythms going on in the body. And we listen to those, we sort of support them to move in easier, clearer, more balanced ways. It endlessly amazes me how powerful it is for people with chronic pain that's been manifest for many, many years, for chronic headaches, jaw pain, eye strain, difficulties breathing. How much changes when people just begin to notice their body, when they begin to listen to the signals, when we reset the thermostat, when we reset the reflexes and enable people to begin to engage with their body. It's a transformative process. And it's very exciting to watch because it's such a simple idea, and not many other therapists, in my experience, seem to understand that or seem to work with it as powerfully as craniosacral therapy does. I think biodynamic craniosacral therapy is very, very good, exceptional. I think it's probably the treatment of choice really for helping people to come back into their bodies and to feel that for a safe, easy process. And when we can feel our bodies, then all sorts of things begin to work much better. Our book is about our insights from the work and a deepening and a progression of the existing teaching. We see the strengths of our book as being a very practical book, a book very much about being in a body and about simple practical things. We're not so much big theorists. We think the theory has been defined and very well articulated, but we do think there's a space for something that is much more practical and much more focused on the needs of the student. And it's such a rich field really. In biodynamic craniosacral therapy there are so many strands that you can explore. We think strands around Buddhism, strands around psychotherapy, strands around shamanism even have been explored reasonably well in the field. Our book is not about those things. Our book is about our direct clinical experience. We're both from a science background. Sumner, his first degree I believe was chemistry, mine was engineering. we're much more about simple, practical things that work very, very well. We acknowledge the theory, we love good theory, but we keep that very simple and try to draw out the essence of what's important. In our book, we give lots of practical examples and lots of exercises for people to do, exercises to do to treat people, and exercises to explore these phenomena I've talked about, these subtle rhythms going on in the body, to explore them in ourselves. Through the exercises we have in the book, we can help people begin to spot the ones and twos and threes. They can spot the early signals, the early clues in their body that there's a problem going on. And we can also help, our goal is to help other practitioners, not just craniosacral therapists, to understand that there are things to pay attention to that are very significant. And if you learn to spot them early in the therapeutic process, you're going to have a warning sign, or you're going to be able to predict certain things that are going to happen to this person's body. And you're going to help people learn skills to allow them to slow those processes down, to not just react when their body's screaming at them 8, 9 or 10, here's a problem, but to learn to spot the ones and twos and threes, to learn to spot that if my heart is beating a little bit more quickly, if my diaphragm feels a little bit tighter, then that's something to pay attention to. There's something I can do. I can stop walking around like this, and every so often I can open and breathe, and that might help my diaphragm and my heart settle a little bit, and that might mean I'm not quite as angry when I respond to my tax bill coming through, or I might not be quite as angry when I talk to my partner next time. So these little hints are in the body, these little clues are very significant. Actually, for me, they're the most exciting thing there is. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you found it interesting. Cranial work has had a profound influence on me and Jed. I hope that this little talk has given you some things to be enthusiastic about and has triggered some of your interest. Good luck, and I hope that you get to experience all the work at some stage.